Yo, what's up, jazz guitar friends? Larry Tamanini here with Jazz Guitar Under 5 Minutes. I might go over a little bit today because I'm going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is how to swing harder playing jazz guitar. You know, defining swing and being able to notate swing on the jazz guitar is one of the most difficult things I think you can do. It's intangible. You can't write it down. You're either swinging or you're not, is what they say. But what is swing? How can I generate some swing on my guitar? Is there like a swing button that I can hit? Is there a pedal I can use? Sadly, no. But I'm going to give you two things that you can do that are really going to help your swing ability. So you heard me play two choruses over an F blues. The first time I played right on with no articulation. And ding ding, that's going to be what we talk about. Let's just say you're coming to jazz guitar from a blues or rock and roll background. You know, if you've been playing blues and you can solo, let's just say if you had to play an F blues, you might play a line like some kind of like blues cliche lick. There's nothing wrong with that. But for whatever reason, when guitar players come to jazz, their left hand decides to just check out completely. You end up sort of picking every single note. I don't know why that is. I think that happened to me too when I became really aware of the notes. I lost all the rhythm ideas and I lost all my articulation ideas. The big difference between the first chorus I played and the second chorus I played, the two big differences that we're going to talk about is left hand articulation and weighting dominant chords properly. So check it out. Two very tricky things to notate, so I think the best way is just to play and give examples. So you heard me play this. And the second time I played, much better, much more forward motion too. Just from sliding into the note. And then I had that little articulation at the end. Wow. Not a lot of difference, but a huge difference. If you're starting your idea, you know, imagine that person that sort of just talks like this all the time. Imagine if I taught a video, hey guys, we're going to be playing some blues and talk about some swing today. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't make it that long without going to that next video. The articulation is everything, especially when you're playing jazz. A simple slide up or is going to make, you know, in that second articulation, I played two E naturals. And I guess you can file this under weighting dominant chords. You know, for a long time, when I really started to get into theory and music theory, the idea of playing a major 7, or in this case an E natural over an F dominant 7 was forbidden. It'd be like stepping on a landmine. But then you look at like so many of the ideas that are kind of happening, and a lot of them do have that E natural in there. One of the first bebop lines I learned, bebop has it twice. And then again, a line that I played that I sort of stole off of Teen Town. You're just outlining, or Barney Miller. You're just kind of outlining the roots, but you're approaching them by a whole step. And hey, there's that E natural in there, and it sounds cool. So yeah, getting that articulation, wow. First step in really getting your swing happening. If you're not articulating or sliding or using your left hand for any articulation, and you start to do that, you're going to notice an immediate difference. Now, the next step is weighting dominant 7 chords. And I've talked about this, and I've gotten a lot of questions from students and just a lot of questions on YouTube in general. What does weight a dominant 7 chord mean? Well, there's a lot of different ways to play a dominant 7 chord. For example, if I was just going to comp this first 4 bars, I'm going to play pretty much like you heard me play at F9 to F13. I'm going to pretty much keep it non-altered until I get to here, right before that B flat. Same thing here with that D7. I might not play an A7 flat 9 and then maybe a D9. That's not going to work. D7 sharp 9 would work. Sharp 9, flat 9 is going to work. There also I'm going to weight that dominant 7 chord. You know, you're not going to play all your dominant 7 chords as like 9s, 13s. You're going to have to get some flat 9s, sharp 9s in there to start making it interesting. Being able to figure out where to implement them too can be really, really helpful too. You don't want to be that dude that's going to play like a half whole diminished on the first chorus, you know. I guess you can kind of get away with it. You're going to sound like a surf music Dick Dale tune in the beginning, but you know, it can be cool. All right, so check it out. The first place that I implemented that altered dominant sound would be going right into the 4 chord. Right, you kind of heard me play off that A flat. I pretty much did the same thing there, but instead of just playing the B flat the whole time, I threw in that diminished chord. Diminished chords, people think they're minor chords. They are dominant chords in disguise. They're like the Decepticons of the music world. These diminished chords are going to create tension. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a little tension from my 4 going back to 1. Now, here is a great way to just get a real small weighted diminished chord, weighted dominant chord in there. The first time over this, of the 2-5 going back to the 2, I played. Nothing wrong with that again. All notes that are in, but what sounds more swinging? That, right? And what I ended up doing is I played there's that A minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio, A, C, E flat, G. Then I got my 3rd to flat 9. Such a great bebop line. I threw in a triplet here. And then there's that half whole line, right? That wouldn't sound good over the first chord, but will sound good. Over that turnaround, I pretty much played this little enclosure. That's going to take me right to this 5th of A flat 7. And then going to walk me right back up to... Wow. So if I were to play those 2 choruses again, like back to back, you would hear the line sound right, no articulation, but right. I couldn't help myself there. There's this. Right? Diminished chord. Again, what I played in the first chorus was not wrong at all. It just wasn't super swinging because there was no articulation and there was no weighted dominant chords. You know, right? He's heard this so many times. I'm pretty sure he could probably get through it if he had, like, you know, the right kind of digits. Anyways, so again, those lines, weighting those dominant 7 chords in articulation, if those aren't present, you're not going to swing. No matter what. You could have the nicest L5 and a great amp and everything happening. It's always going to sound a little stiff. By throwing in that articulation, I'm really going to get way more out of that line. I'm going to make the line work for me a little bit. And then again, I want to just not play simple. I have to get a little grind in there, right? That vocabulary, a lot of times are going to be like licks. People say like, oh, I don't play licks. Well, you got to start out by playing licks to just sort of get that vocabulary and swing ideas into your playing. And then once that happens, you can really start playing a bunch of different stuff. So, all right, jazz guitar friends, to recap, like I said, if you're coming to the guitar from blues or a rock background and you've spent a lot of time learning your scales and arpeggios and you're still feeling like it's not happening for you when you try to swing and play jazz, well, try to articulate your notes. Don't just play regular dominant 7 chords. You have to sort of build a little tension and weight those dominant 7 chords. They can't just be regular 7s or 9s. You got to throw in some altered tones in there, and then you're going to start getting in some of that jazz vocabulary, which is just going to start to swing a little bit more. The next step would be to try to be able to play a whole chorus in triplets, which is something I'm going to put up a little bit later this week. All right, so if you made it this far, thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I really appreciate all the support and feedback. Thanks so much for hanging. Keep swinging. Bebop.